Greatness can come from anywhere.
I draw inspiration from the Filipino people and to God and my family. Hard work is the most difficult things in boxing.
Let's get into it.
Back at it. Smash that like button on your way in. Brian McIntyre, Team Crawford, head coach and trainer. Shout out to Red. Shout out to Eastside. Bud and team, they do a lot for the city. They do a lot for the community. We seen how Omaha stepped up and came out for Terence Crawford. If y'all think that they would not set Bomac up, y'all crazy. This guy and team, they went in there and beat Errol Spence. Then turned around and brought Chris Eubank on for his fight or rematch with Smith. And he had Chris Eubank looking like a totally different fighter. Do you know how hard that is for a fighter to get a new trainer? And in the first fight, you look like a totally different fighter in a positive way. You look at Ryan Garcia, you look at Anthony Joshua, how these guys have switched up trainers because they've experienced some difficulties in fights. You think that the enemies that Team Crawford has, and there's some enemies, they got some enemies in the sport of boxing. You think they wouldn't try to set up Bomac? That's just how it is in life, y'all. If somebody can't come at you straight, if they can't beat you straight up, they go come at you sideways. They go try to undercut you. They go try to take your legs out from under you. That's just how people is. That's just how opposition is. So if y'all thinking that Bomac wasn't set up or could not be set up, then y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. They don't play in the UK with guns, man. You see all the cameras and shit they got in the UK? The law enforcement doesn't even walk around with firearms like that. The UK is one of those countries and states like they don't mess around when it comes to people walking around firearms. They ain't like the United States. And in my opinion, the United States should adopt some of those principles that the UK and other places in the world have. That's why you wouldn't have all these damn mass shootings and shit and everybody trying to kill each other because they have too many accesses to firearms. They need to be promoting the fight game more. You know what I'm saying? You need to get people more encouraged about picking up their hands instead of picking up a gun.
I don't even know what to say, bro.
But let me tell y'all what I did. I went on to Twitter. I found the mayor of the UK, you know what I mean? Mayor of London, Sadiq, I forgot his last name, but he's the mayor of London. That's what we need to do to show our support for Bomac. So the mayor of London, so the people of London, so they know that this man is revered, that this man is respected and loved, and he's admired for his contributions to the sport of boxing and to his home state of Omaha, Nebraska. That's what we need to do, because that's surely what I've done. I can only do my part. Everybody else, y'all got to do your part. And let him know that free Bomac, free Brian McIntyre. Team Crawford ain't paying me a dime. Now, Team Crawford, I believe 100% they're going to step up for Bomac in his absence. Bomac, once upon a time, he actually talked about that while they have various coaches besides himself. Because if something happens to one, you still have the input and the eyes and the expertise of the other coaches. Now look how everything comes full circle, and that point has shown to be accurate. With him going through this situation, I believe the Team Crawford 100% is going to step up. Shout out to Bernie, shout out to Red, you know what I'm saying, Eastside, the whole team, strength and conditioning, everybody in the gym. Shout out to everybody, man. Matter of fact, shout out to Omaha, man. Shout out to Nebraska. You dig what I'm saying? Seeing pictures of Bud, look like Bud already putting in the work, which I already told y'all. Bud already getting bigger, Bud already getting stronger. Probably the smartest IQ in boxing after Floyd. Probably second to him, maybe Shakur Stevenson. I told y'all, man, like Bud ain't playing around. He wasn't playing around in the first fight, and he's not gonna be playing around in the second fight. If anything, we may see a more dominant Bud in the second fight. He went in there and shocked the world and made it look easy. So imagine what he's going to do in the second fight, because people still talking, people still doubting, people still hating, people still questioning his victory. Which, in anybody in your right mind, how can you do so? With the performance that he put on, he literally dominated Errol Spence the whole fight. People are trying to give Errol Spence that first round with everything they got. And arguably, that was kind of like a toss-up kind of round. But from the second round on until he got stopped in the ninth, was all Terence Crawford. Knocked him down in the second, knocked him down twice in the seventh. And in between, he dominated Errol Spence in multiple spots, hurt Errol Spence in multiple spots. The last sequence before the ref stepped in and waved it off and stopped the fight, Terence Crawford was about to utterly annihilate Errol Spence. He was already punishing Errol Spence caught him with 2 devastating shots that had Errol Spence physically in another realm, in another dimension. His legs wasn't under him after he took those 2 shots from Crawford, before Crawford almost finished him off, but the ref stepped in and called the fight off. Bub was about to destroy Errol Spence. He was about to knock him out. I'm talking about not being stopped. Errol was about to be knocked out. So the ref did a good job of stepping in and saving Errol from himself. A lot of people said that Derrick James should have threw in the towel maybe 2 to 3 rounds prior to it being stopped. Arguably, you could possibly say that. But then Derrick James will probably have to explain to Errol Spence, you know what I mean? And that may have caused friction between trainer and fighter, which it really shouldn't, because that's a trainer's job, to protect his fighter. If you lose your job, then so be it. But if Errol Spence is able to maintain a healthy way of living and still has his mental faculties and he can enjoy playing with his children, if it takes Derrick James to lose his job, then you know what, Derrick James should, you know what I mean, say, well, you know what, I quit. Because I'm always put you first. I'm always do what I got to do because I care about you and I care about your family and how you live after you leave the sport of boxing. Free Bomac. Team Crawford 100% is going to step up in Crawford versus Spence 2. I'm going to enjoy talking about this second fight, but I told you guys before, going off of what I seen in the first fight, I don't see things changing for the second fight. Errol still got the same skill set at 54 that he had at 147, and so does Terence Crawford, and that's the difference. That's all I got. Talk Nation, stand up as your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You already know how I play. Share the truth. Talk Nation.
Fatality.